So the process of encryption on Windows wasn't too difficult, but now it's time to get into the PGP process on Tails. And surprisingly, it's not going to be very difficult either. It's actually very similar to the Windows. Might actually be a little easier to follow as well. So be sure you have Tails ready to go, or at least watch this section. Again, if you have Tails in a virtual box, this is great for practice, but remember, any changes you make on that Tails, the second you shut down your VirtualBox machine and boot it back up, it will be gone. And same for Tails from a USB. If you don't have persistence configured, it will erase everything you do. So if you save any keys or create any keys, they'll be gone if you don't save them. So it's best to have persistence if you're going to be using PGP keys a lot. Otherwise, I would just export them to like a USB drive and go from there. But let's hop back to our Tails desktop and take a look at PGP on Tails. So we are back here on our Tails desktop, which is in our VirtualBox environment. Now the PGP information for Tails is pretty much all going to be right here on this little clipboard. This is where you'll find all the things you need for the Tails PGP application. So the first thing you'll need to do is make sure you have somebody's key. So again, we're going to be assuming you're just wanting to send a message to somebody or encrypt it to somebody else. So you will need their public key to start. Now I've already saved that test key we were working with before. I've saved it to the Tails desktop. But we'll just open that up and take a look at it really quickly. So we'll do open with, and then we'll open it again with our text editor. And it should open up just fine. And there it is. So you can see it just looks like a regular key block. And this is what you'll actually find online when you want to encrypt something to somebody. So we will go ahead and just get that out of here for now. And the first step you'll want to do is actually import that key so you can copy a message to it. So you'll click this and then go to Manage Keys. And that little clipboard there has several options you can select. Obviously encrypt, sign in, encrypt, manage keys, or open the text editor. But we'll just hit the Manage Keys. We'll hit File, then Import. And then of course you'll want to select the file you want to import from, which will be this one. We'll hit Open. And it will verify their email. And then you can just hit Import. And it should pull it through just fine. Now, once it is imported, if you go to your GNU PG keys, you'll actually see it there. So this is the one we just imported. And there's some other test ones down there you can take a look at, but that's the one we care about. So now you would want to create your message. You can do it in that same file. I'll just create a new text document actually. So whatever message you want to actually send to somebody. So in this case, say you were sending an address, 123 Main Street, north, south, in Westernton. It's fake if you couldn't tell. And we'll also add a name as well. Test, a unique name for the parents to give them. We got our address. I should have capitalized those, but it's too late now. And then our zip code, 12345. No, that's not right. There we go. There it is, and that's pretty much it. So you would copy this information. You'll hit this little clipboard and then say sign or encrypt clipboard with public key. And it will pull up an option and you'll select who you actually want to encrypt it to. So it'll pull a bunch up. I don't know why it keeps pulling empty ones up down here. Now it would pull up the key we imported. However, earlier when I messed with that, remember I changed some of the letters in the last video. That's why it wouldn't actually show up. But if it was, you would just hit this, hit OK, and then that would be it. It would encrypt the message the same as before. And then of course, once we pasted, after that it would be fine. But that's pretty much it. That's the process of encrypting something. So obviously if you paste it, it will paste as encrypted. And that is pretty much the process of encrypting with PGP on Tails. So there's some more information on here you can use. If you want to find any more information, you can actually pull up the Tails website, and they give a lot of kind of step-by-step on what you need to do to actually send the message and everything like that. And you'll just go ahead and paste it after you are done and you're ready to go. So it's a pretty easy process, nothing too difficult. If you have any questions, I suggest visiting this website, the Tails website. Lots of information on that. But that is pretty much the process of PGP on Tails. It's not too terribly difficult, and that'll pretty much wrap up our PGP section. It was very quick, but we got through pretty much everything you need to know. Not too much information we need to dive into. The important section is going to be the next section, and that is section 5, where we will talk about marketplaces and how to actually use products and services on the deep web and how to purchase things anonymously. That'll kind of bring everything together throughout this course. You've probably been wondering, we kind of skip some things or we don't really dive into them, and that's because in the section 5 we will walk you through the entire process from start to finish of anonymously purchasing a product on the dark web.